Hey everyone, welcome to Encore, and today I'm going to do a video review on Face Atelier's Ultra Foundations.
Hey everyone, it's Corin, and you're watching EnKoreMakeup. Blend, blend, blend.
Hi, Corin, stop using my lipstick.
Hey everyone, welcome back. So Face Atelier is actually really up and coming. I mean, they have a name out really already. A lot of celebrities prefer them, their products, especially foundation, like Fergie and Lady Gaga prefers their foundation. And also they are the cosmetic sponsor for Madonna's Confessions tour. Now, I've heard of the company before, I just never had the chance to try their products because they're actually a Canadian-based company. They're based out of Calgary, Alberta, and they're just now kind of spreading throughout the US. And back at the Artist Summit in Miami, my good friend Jon Hennessey, who's also a phenomenal makeup artist, told me about Face Atelier, and I sat down in one of his classes, and he's all about skin, so foundation is his like best friend. And he used the product, and I was just like, wow. And he was like, definitely check them out when you get a chance. So IMATS in Toronto happened, and I was just really excited that they had a booth there, and I met Debbie. Debbie owns Face Atelier. Hi Debbie. I just want to shout out to you. Fab stuff. Anyway, so she said, oh, it's like, you know Jon, and Jon's just like, a fan of the product. And I said, yeah, I'd love to check him out. So I was swatching and stuff, and I was going to teach a class, and she said, here, try this out, see what you think, let me know. And I've been trying them out ever since I got the Pro Kit. So I got a hold of the odd colors, including the 0+ and the 0-. Okay, the 0+ is almost white, and the 0- is like a really dark, deep tan. Alright, and I know a lot of my co-makeup artists are raving about these two products, from like Kathy Aragon to makeup blogger Christina Farrell. She raved about these, and I now know why. So, and of course, Jon Hennessey told me about these before, but in the Pro Kit, in the odds, of course, you get the 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So, and that's from the lightest to the darkest. And of course, the evens are a different undertone. Okay, now the Pro sizes come in a pump bottle, much like this, alright, and smaller than the regular size, the regular full size, okay. These are 0.68 ounce, or 20 milliliters, okay. Now the full regular size that you can get, like a full bottle, is 1 full ounce, or 30 milliliters, okay. So it's a bigger bottle than this one. But this is the Pro set, so it comes in a pump bottle. And one thing about these is that they're silicone based, okay? So pros on that is that silicones, they diminish the look of fine lines and wrinkles, and the silicone particles are larger than normal skin pore. So so it just kind of like creates like a second skin almost on top of your skin, so giving it a more flawless finish. That's usually the typical characteristics of silicone-based makeup. That's why they're becoming more and more popular. Another thing is that they're so water resistant because of the silicone. They're almost like waterproof, and I'm going to demonstrate that to you guys today. Con is basically silicones. A lot of people are sensitive to silicones, even people that doesn't realize that they're sensitive to it. So you can react to silicones if you're not sure if your skin is sensitive to it. So make sure that you're not sensitive to silicones. Otherwise, it's great that way because of the silicone base. Now, as far as mixing them and blending them, and like I said, you don't need as much to get coverage. they're very easy to blend. So what you can do in the Pro Kit is that you can mix and match any of these colors to match your client's skin tone. And then again, the 0 plus and the 0 minus are great adjusters as well. Okay, another thing is that you can create just tinted moisturizers with these products. So if you don't need coverage, then you can just add like a really small drop with your favorite moisturizer, and you can create tinted moisturizers with these. Okay, now just demonstrating what the coverage looks like. I'm just going to show you, and as you know, I have a lot of red markings in my skin, and that's from acne marks, and I'm not concealing. Okay, so I'm going to do just straight up foundation on this side, and I'm going to do the tinted moisturizer method on this side. Okay, so all you need is a small amount, okay, just like that, not even like a whole pump. And I'm just going to use my stipple and swirl brush. Alright, and then again I'm just going to get the product right in the tip of my brush. Okay, and then I'm going to stipple and swirl this. Look at those red marks gone. And a little goes a long way, so you can pretty much spread this throughout your whole face. And for those of you who's wondering, this is number 7, which is tan. And I think it's definitely the closest to my skin tone. Okay, and then we're just going to set that with powder. Any creams or liquids you want to set with powder. Look at that. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous finish. Okay, so next I'm going to do this other half of my face, the difference, by making a tinted moisturizer. So I'm just going to use a little bit of moisturizer. Okay, then I'm going to add just a small amount of the Ultra Foundation to that. Okay, just like so. And then I'm just going to use my stipple and swirl brush and mix those together to create a tinted moisturizer. And then same thing. And you'll still get coverage. Okay, and then powder as usual. Alright, and there you have it. So you can use it as a tinted moisturizer and it will still give you coverage, or you can use it straight up. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate how to do the 0 plus and 0 minus. I still have a little bit, or actually a lot, left over because, like I said, a little goes a long way. Look at that. That's still a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a little bit of that, and I'm going to use the 0 plus, which is the dark. Okay? And just going to, again, very, very, very little. I'm just going to add that so that it'll adjust it a little darker. Okay, and then again I'm just going to fold and mix those together. Okay, and then I'm just going to add it to where I need contouring. Just placing it first, and then blending it later. Okay, and then I'm just going to hit a little bit of my nose to give it a little contour. Okay, and then I'm going to use the 0 minus, alright, which is kind of like the white. I'm just going to add just a tiny drop, just like that. Just going to blend that. I'm going to use this as a highlighter. Just going to apply it right where I need highlighting. Okay, and then again, this final dusting of powder to set. And there you have it. Okay, so now let's go to my sink and I'm going to show you guys how water resistant this product is. So it's definitely ideal for humidity or like summertime when it's like, you know, sweaty and hot and swimming and stuff like that. So let's go to my sink. Okay, so for this demonstration, I'm going to be using number 1. And number 1 is the lightest, of course, you can see. Okay, I'm just going to apply that. Of course, you know, this is way too light for my skin color, but it's going to register in the video better. Alright, so I'm just going to apply that. Okay, so you can see right there. And then I'm going to turn on my water. And my water's already pre-warmed, so this is warm water, and look at this. Look at that. It just, the water just beads on top of it. Alright, and I can like keep it in there and rub it, and it's not going to come off. Look at that. Okay, the water is a little too warm. A little too hot now. I'm going to add a little cold in there, and I'm just still going to rub this. Look at that. It's not budging. And this is definitely, you know, just telling you guys that this is really sticking to the skin. Look how the water just beads on top of it. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I'm just really thrilled about this product, and thanks to Jon Hennessey for really pushing me to checking this product out. Look at this. Wow. And definitely to remove it, by the way, you just need like a proper makeup remover and it will come off. So as I demonstrated earlier, you know, water is going to be tough to just remove plain water. You're going to need some makeup remover to remove it, but it will stay in your skin. You know, come sweat, come rain, come shine, come hot, humid, come water, pool, swimming, beach. You know, definitely give it a go if you're you know, a little bit more susceptible to water activities or sweating even. So definitely check it out. And their website is www.faceatelier.com. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Bye!